Really?
LegacyMaker, the All Sports Network.
This is it. This is for all the chips. Up for championships. No, it gets no better than this. Just sit and relax a bit. We're talking the pass and blitz. We're talking the jump and switch. We're talking the pitch and miss. Clean space, keep space. You come to the right place. Beat fake. I don't need to see. I'm
What are you looking for?
I tune into Legacy. Legacy. Fourth and goal and on the road. Legacy. Down 3 seconds to go. Legacy. 2 out. Bases loaded. Legacy. It's not a mystery. You're tuned into Legacy. Check the flag on the final lap. Legacy. 12th round. Who gets to the mat? Legacy. You want a legacy? You built a legacy. Broadcasting live right now for the whole world to see.
Now, the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. We about to get this bad boy started.
Here are your hosts, Darrell Owens and Jay Quimby.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 272 of the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast here on the LegacyMaker Sports Network. And I am your guy, Darrell Owens. And beside me sits a Super Bowl champion, Mr. Jeremiah Quimby. What is up, sir? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I mean, honestly, I'm tired of all the bullshit I get for everybody like, oh, Tom Brady won this, da-da-da. Yeah, because, you know, I'm going to steal it from Lamont. Because Tom Brady plays free safety and defensive line and he does it all, man.
He's a phenomenal individual. Hey, look, man.
Oh, looky.
Back in the building. What's up, Bex? Monster Minutes returning this week. Whoop, whoop! Here on the Legacy.
Wait. Vroom, vroom, motherfucker.
Yeah, vroom, vroom. Yeah, so get ready for that because that will be returning this weekend. Monster Minutes with our girl, Becca Cottingham, here on the LegacyMaker Sports Network. That means NASCAR's right around the corner, which also means the Legacy on Fire edition of Monster Minutes is coming up here within the week. So y'all be prepared for that as well. We'll be doing that the week before Daytona. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl champs. That is the nicest thing that I can say right now. Congratulations, sir. I mean,
Thank you.
How does that feel? I mean,
It
how
feels
does
great
that feel?
because
it's been a while.
the last time they won, I was sitting with my oldest daughter. Can you turn your shit down?
Yeah, we got it. Go ahead. Continue, sir.
She was 1, and I'm rubbing her head for good luck as we're playing the Oakland Raiders. And, you know, now she's 19. It's been a bit.
Just a little bit. I was telling Jay earlier, I was a junior. I was a junior in high school when all of this started going down the first time. So, I mean, it's crazy. But, I mean,
Very much.
Hey, man, look. But let's look at the game. I think most of us would probably say we did not expect this game to turn out the way it did. The way that this Tampa Bay team came out early, and just kind of on the defensive front, did their thing.
They controlled the line of scrimmage, and I mean that's exactly what a couple of the guys said. It starts in the trenches, and I mean, Tampa only blitzed 5 times. The rest of that was done by their defensive line.
And that's crazy. I mean, and Todd Boyle's getting amazing
Not
job.
Byron Leftwich,
Mr. Reporter guy.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Jesus, man. Guess we all look alike. But anyway, anywho, you look at it and you say to yourself, like, what a great defensive game plan. He had enough faith in his guys to say, you know what, my guys got it. Y'all go up there and crate to have it. Yesterday when we did our pre-show, it was brought up. I want to say Drew brought it up about the offensive line, and then Lamont and I believe Victor said, they lost those 2 interior guards.
Not the guards. They lost the tackles. And moved the guards out.
Right. So they had a lot of makeshift things going on that offensive line, which went back and it costed them. I mean, and I would have said, going back and watching Pat Mahomes run for 497 yards backwards is definitely not the thing that you want to see if you are a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, but,
it's tough.
The one thing though is everybody's talking about the line adjustments that Kansas City had to make. Our right guard, who was going against Chris Jones, was our 3rd string guard. Because Alex Kappa got hurt.
Right.
And then they actually bought Ted Larson back to fill the depth chart up because Steiny was the dude's name. I don't know who this guy is, and it's my team. So, and he was going against Chris Jones, and there was a couple there. The one time Brady got like smashed,
Right.
he messed up, but then he stepped up and he did his job, and he did it good.
I mean, I sat here. I think the thing that baffled me the most about this game, if you'd came into this game and said, "Hey, man, I bet you $6 million that the Kansas City Chiefs would not score a touchdown in this game," would you take that bet?
Hell no.
Nobody would take that bet.
No, I mean,
Nobody would take that bet. No one would have that much faith. They had a stat in there, or they said early in the game that blew my mind. The Kansas City Chiefs took the lead for the 67th straight time in a football game. 67th. I mean, let's see. There's what? 16 games a season. That's at least 4 years of them having the lead in a game at some point in some time. It's amazing. But that defense, man.
It's very amazing, but the thing, everybody, LA brought us said it, I'm going to always be on the hill of the turf toe thing. He's played for the last 4 weeks with the turf toe.
Right.
So you can't put it all on that.
Yeah, and he was still running around, and you saw some limping, but I think a lot of that, when it comes down to it, is I wish I had a chance to sit back and saw exactly what he saw coming, because
no, you don't.
I mean, what I mean by it is every time he hiked it, it wasn't like normal Patrick Mahomes where you take a second, you read your progressions,
and you got throw it out,
and you make a play, or if you have to, but you get enough time to make the decision. Oh, I need to run. This guy was like hike. And he was already on the move.
Yep.
I mean, and usually we're so used to Pat Mahomes making all of these crazy plays,
being calm and collected,
turning to the side and rolling to the side and throwing off balance and making these plays. Here's the other crazy thing about this, Jay, and I know you saw a couple of these. He still almost made crazy plays. The receivers just couldn't bring it in. He had the one in the back of the end zone. He got it to the guy. He just couldn't bring it in. He had the one where Robinson had his hands on it.
Devin White knocked
it down. So you watching all of this, and I say to myself, wow.
On that one with Devin White knocking it out, he was falling down and threw the ball to the end zone. And it actually hit Robinson in the face.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Russ says, what's up, Russ? Don't forget about your line problems. Just was more worried about their line against y'all's D-line.
That makes sense, but, I mean, go back and forth. Vita is not getting the credit he deserves. He was collapsing that pocket, which made Mahomes go.
Remember when he got drafted?
I was so pissed.
Oh, he was hot. What? Another defensive lineman?
What? We had Sue, and I believe we saw McCoy.
Yeah, you still had McCoy. You had Sue.
And so for me, I was like, I didn't see the need.
And then you got JPP a couple weeks later.
But the guy that went behind him was Deron Payne. And I liked Payne better than I did Vita.
Right.
Because Vita was a Washington product. And one of the biggest things that I've noticed about prospects that come from Washington, just the college, not the state, they get hurt a lot.
Yeah,
Jake Locker.
They've been like that. I mean, Kevin King, Sidney Jones. I mean, I could probably go on and on.
Right.
but it's been that way.
So, when he had the ankle thing this year, we did miss him. He has the ability. How do I want to say this because I can't give him the respect. He does what kind of Steven Tuitt or I want to say Vince Wilfork, but there's nobody.
It's kind of hard to compare that.
You can't.
It's tough. But I mean, he was very critical to that defense. I think another thing that kind of blew my mind. Well, no, I'm not even saying blow my mind. I love the play of Devin White. God, boy. God, Devin White was impressive last night.
I told B that's the next jersey I'm buying.
I mean, and you know what? He was very impressive. I mean, watching him going across the field, and Joe said it in our, I know it's passive, but if y'all didn't get a chance to watch our Super Bowl preview show yesterday, that was so much fun. It was great perspective from everybody on the network. Joe said this, he's like, watching Devin White, it was going to be very critical seeing how he would be able to handle that running game, and he did just that. I mean, he was all over going side by
Edwards
side.
Hilaire broke away, and then all of a sudden you see Devin White coming out
Like
of
a
nowhere.
torpedo. It was like a torpedo. I mean, like,
And he felt bad because they were teammates at LSU together.
yeah. And he was like, "Hey man, you good, bro? You good?
Yeah.
Right, cool, love you, man." And then he walked up.
I let you wear my ring for a week.
Right. Cody Stewart, our guy on the network. Cody says, wildest stat I saw from last night, Patrick Mahomes running 497 yards. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Cody. We don't know. I'm just baffled, just blown away that he ran for that many yards going backwards. But like I tell Jay, every time he took a step, he was already running, trying to, I felt like he had no confidence whatsoever in his offensive line.
Well, and Travis Kelce had a great game. And, Hill got him involved finally. Mm-hmm. But that was basically, I want to say garbage time, but, yeah. I mean, it was 28-9.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and, I agreed with Bruce Arians. He said, I'll feel comfortable when we're up 40.
Yeah, I mean, because we've seen it. How many times have we seen Patrick Mahomes make And I'm not going to lie to you.
No, Houston, last year.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking in the third quarter, I'm like, all right, well, if they score a touchdown here, they're right. I mean, they're easily right back in this if they score a touchdown here. This is Pat Mahomes here. But what the Buccaneers did well is that they sniffed out any hope of that. I mean, just the way they attacked the defense was just beautifully done. They didn't let anybody big time get in the game. Now, Travis Kelce, who probably had the most unproductive 10 reception, 133-yard game that anybody can have. You hate to say that. But, like, he was pretty much Mahomes' security, like, he was security blanket the whole night because he really couldn't get anything else going.
Russ says Devin White has been y'all's best draft pick y'all had since Mike Evans.
I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree.
Don't hate me.
No.
Now, because you look at this year's draft picks, Winfield Jr. played a great game last night. He's been very instrumental in shoring up the back end of that secondary. And Tristan Wirfs is not getting the credit because he's took on some badass pass rushers, and he has shut them down.
I mean,
Chase Young.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said, like, this kid, I remember when he got drafted. You remember when he got drafted and we saw that video of him jumping out of the pool and landing on. I said, that kid's a stud. Anybody that can do that is a monster. He doesn't care about life.
I was, I didn't like the gentleman from Thomas from Georgia and Becton. I wasn't impressed with their workouts. I watched Wirf a couple times. I watched Chase Young make Wirf his bitch during the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
And then when they played, Wirf's like, I got you, bro.
You know what that is, I think, also, though? When you play around greatness, and then this is not me, and I'll certify my point, but when you play around greatness, you have to live up to that expectation. And so when you're playing around Tom Brady, Tristan Wirfs, no, I can't put this up. This is Tom Brady. Okay, I cannot be the scapegoat of the guy. You got to ball out.
He gave up one sack.
But
no, all year, one sack. And he had 2 penalties all year.
And that's what I'm saying. When you play behind somebody like Tom Brady, he knows.
In front of,
my fault. He knew, God, if I mess up here, they're going to let me have it. This is Tom Brady behind me. And when I'll go to that point, if you look at other players in the past, the Peyton Mannings, Peyton Manning didn't always have phenomenal. Yeah, he had Wayne but think about those other receivers that he had to make plays. The Dallas Clarks that became big time players because they had to make plays. Brett Favre had all of those receivers that were no names.
Austin Collie could have been great. He could have been like Julian Edelman before he was Julian Edelman, but the concussions caught up with him.
Right.
So
I mean,
Becca, they usually come back in the third period. Oh yeah, I was praying the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. The only time that I thought that in my heart of hearts, that I knew that Tampa Bay had this game wasn't until 12 minutes. Even though they were up 31-9, I'm like, until it was like 12 minutes left in the fourth, I'm like, all right, I think Tampa Bay got it now. And even then, I don't know, man. That's.
You said congrats, sir, and I said.
You said hush your mouth, young man.
No, I said not until I see triple zeros. No.
I've been there before. But while we're talking, let's talk about Tom Brady because Tom Brady. Wins Super Bowl 7, as Drew says eloquently on here. Thomas Edward Brady II is the GOAT. But if we look at this and say, Tom Brady Every time we think Tom Brady's out of the loop, or you thinking that he's, maybe if you start to think, oh, well, he's not where he needs to, Tom Brady shows up.
Absolutely, but the thing with Tom, and I don't like Tom Brady at all.
Right. How much you like him now, though?
Me?
A little bit. If you let's rate what was your rating?
I hate his guts, but I respect him.
There you go. I was about to say, what was your rating before Tampa Bay would probably been like a 1? Your rating now with him with a buck and a championship
is about 1.5.
Come on, man, give him a 7, man.
I mean, the only thing that he brought in very competitive attitude, which anybody needs from their leader.
Right.
And Jameis Winston with this is not a leader.
Yeah. I saw somebody post last night, and this made me giggle. He said, we can blame Jameis Winston for all this. The reason why this is happening right now is because of Jameis Winston. If Jameis Winston wasn't out here throwing 30 picks, Tom Brady would never have been a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
But you look at how great Jameis was in college, and he comes to a team, as people have pointed out, that is stacked, and he can't win.
Right.
It's 7-9 I mean, he just turned the ball over. And last night I saw the bad snap by Jansen. Brady fell on it. Winston would have tried to pick it up and throw it, and then Kansas City, that would have been a turning point.
I look at this and said, this is when you can. This is the difference between a great quarterback, decent quarterback. You can see it. Pretty much the same roster, maybe. Be honest with you, pretty much the same roster, except for maybe a couple draft picks, and obviously Antonio Brown and Gronk. Other than that, that's pretty much the same roster that you had coming in here.
Oh, Leonard Fournette.
And then coaching staff. So I mean, yes, Leonard Fournette, who was with, Jacksonville, and things didn't work out on that front, and he comes here and he runs like a beast last night. Credit to our man Vic.
Now the question here is, some of these guys are free agents,
right?
Do they come back demanding big ass contracts, or do they come back because they want to win another one?
That's it, and I know we're going to get a little bit of that in a little while.
Oh, my bad.
No, because we're only talking about 2 of them, but you guys got a couple guys that are going to be on the loosey goosey here. You got to make some decisions on. But I just said to myself, can they do this again? Heck yeah, you got Thomas Brady. Anything, or as some people say, anything is possible with Tom Brady in the fold. I mean, that's just what Tom Brady brings.
But this year in the draft, we need to start looking at quarterbacks to put underneath them, because I'm sorry, but I don't feel 100% confident with Blaine Gabbert being there.
Yeah.
I
can understand that, because you see Blaine being. Blaine's...
Drew, you wouldn't be celebrating without TB12, or I'm great. Okay, get it. Still don't like the motherfucker.
It's like this for me. It's like I always attribute that to like LeBron James. Like, yes, am I the huge LeBron James fan? No, not by far. Did LeBron James help this Miami Heat team win 2 championships? Heck yeah. Do I respect him for it? Heck yeah. Will I always be appreciative? Heck yeah. Do I have to like him? No. I mean, and I don't hate him. I'm just not like, I'm not gonna drool over LeBron James. He's not my favorite player, but I respect his game.
He brought one to Cleveland.
So what's next for Tom Brady here? I mean, because
he's got another year on his contract with us, and I honestly believe he's coming back, and they're gonna shoot again to do what they did. They're defending champs.
I mean, and Tom said it last night immediately. You coming back, man? We'll be back next year. He didn't even hesitate. We'll see y'all next year. Like, Tom Brady, he's a different animal.
I haven't seen what it exactly said, but he sent out a group tweet to the entire team and told them, we're going to beat the Chiefs.
Right.
Okay. I mean,
yeah,
that is confidence. If you have a confident leader, that gives everybody else confidence too.
Exactly, and you can just tell that the guys just generally love Tom Brady. They love him.
That my mom and fiance try and start a fight with ESPN. Who's he talking about?
I have no clue. I don't know who Russ is trying to fight, but Thomas Brady will be back. He said it last night, and how about that? Next one we're going to swing over to is we're going to swing to the Chiefs side of things here. Andy Reid looked out of it last night, Jay. And yes, obviously he's got a ton going on. He's already had to deal with one situation with his son. Gary passing a couple years ago. His son Brick gets into this car accident, and there's a young child's life in danger here, and in critical condition. Obviously, things go to a completely different thing. God forbid if something happens to this child and they pass. But this whole situation, Andy Reid just didn't. And you said it on. I went back and listened to the show. You said, Andy Reid is, he's going to leave this to his coaches, like his defensive coordinators, and that's what it looked like last night. But what does that tell you of Eric Bieniemy? I know a lot of people, look at it like
it really makes you wonder if it's Andy Reid that is the mastermind, or because Bieniemy was the one that was basically calling all the plays, and look what happened.
Yeah, and like I said, it may not all been him, obviously, and that could be unfair. We could be unfair in that position, but if that was the case last night, it would have some people thinking just a little bit.
You damn right, Drew. Because Bruce, if somebody gave me a Tom Brady jersey for free, I'd give it back to him.
He'd donate that jank to science. So we're giving away a free Tom Brady jersey here on the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast. That's all we're saying. But I look at it and say this: I really hate that what I'm seeing from this whole situation. I think Rob brought it up yesterday during the show. Like they let him coach in this game. I think he's not in jail.
Oh, Britt, no, he's in ICU, bro.
Britt is in ICU as well.
Yes.
So all right, so that's why it's not the way it is. So Britt's in ICU. The child is also in a bad situation.
Oh, Mahomes is the mom and fiance tweeted at ESPN about some pictures they showed as Patrick last night during the game.
Oh, hey man, look. Mom, but the mom's supposed to. Mom's supposed to.
Fiance, she got to try to.
Yeah.
Because $500 million reasons to.
And you got to compete with mom, so.
Right. But the whole thing is sorry, Mom. There's that First Amendment. Good luck, Buttercup.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, I sit here and watched it. Watching that whole game last night, very sad. Watching the outcome on the Chiefs side, but if you're a Buccaneers fan like Jay here, you've got to be feeling like cloud nine. Because
nobody gave you the respect, or like you shouldn't be there.
Right.
How we heard it when the playoff seedings were. Why Tampa Bay shouldn't be in there?
Nah,
and then look at what we went through. Of course, the team that played us the best. No offense, Darrell. Was Washington Redskins. Oh, I'm sorry, the Washington football team.
No, but you're right, though.
Heineke looked great.
I feel like if you watched all the games leading there, the Washington football team did give y'all even though y'all had the lead, Washington was like, they were fighting. They were battling. The Saints had the lead, and then they just gave up. We never had the lead, gave a fight, and just, whatever. But I looked at it and said, wow, man, look how impressive this Bucs team. But you can always vibe something. And just coming into the playoffs, you knew it's like if they get past,
First it was get past the Saints. Then it was get past you guys.
I was very worried. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I went back, I said, man, please let the Saints win this game. I said it. I was like, man, if the Saints can win this game, I know we can beat the Saints. I'm not 100%. And I started getting vibes from last year when we played San Francisco. It was like, I was like hoping that the Minnesota Vikings would please beat the 49ers. I knew it wasn't going to happen. The Saints beating the Bucs this time, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it was going to happen because once Tom Brady gets in playoff mode, he's a different monster. That's just who he is.
But I was worried about it because literally, they whooped our ass both times we played them.
Exactly. But they came to play, and you watch the defense, and I'm like, that defense, you can vibe a team doing well, and that defense started to really play well.
It's the second time that defense has been the catalyst to get over the hump. I guess Tom Brady did what Tom Brady does.
Yes.
But hats off to Leftwich.
Yeah.
Changed. Tom Brady might have took one deep pass just in garbage time, just for hell or shits and giggles to AB. Besides that, they were all screens or runs.
Well, I'm hoping that Boyles, like he's had his whole head coaching thing. I don't know if Boyles really wants to be a head coach again. I know obviously money-wise he may want it, but Leftwich definitely deserves. Boyles is just a phenomenal defensive coordinator. Some people, we saw him as a head coach. I just rather him stay a defensive. I know you rather him just stay the defensive coordinator. But Leftwich, I would like to see Leftwich get a chance.
I was really pissed when we brought him in. I respected the gentleman. I just didn't like the change from the 4-3 to the 3-4 defense.
Right.
Now let's do it.
Well, hey, got the ring. It is what it is.
No, last year I was all about it because we went from having just barely double-digit sacks as a team to Shaq Barrett.
Right, and then Shaq Barrett started off slow this year. But that second half of the year, boy.
We set a Super Bowl record for pressures.
It was like 29, right?
29.
It's crazy. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Well, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you.
And, you went from, oh, God, I got to talk about Ohio State treating me like a stepchild to Super Bowl champs in just a couple weeks. You're going to take it, right?
We just need to draft one Ohio State
One Ohio State guy that you can just...
The last Ohio State player we drafted was...
Give this guy somebody so he can get a jersey. That's all he's asking for. That's all he's asking for.
Thank you.
All right, next topic. All the other things happened this weekend. The NFL honors went down this weekend, along with the Hall of Fame.
John Lynch.
Another phenomenal week of. Like I said, it's just a good thing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Sorry, Leroy.
Yeah, I'm not upset. I mean, I'm mad because I want to see him get in.
Well, because we got that first interview.
Yeah, and I want to see him get in. But I went on Twitter and saw what he posted, and he seems to be okay with it because for the first time he was actually in the top 10.
You're right, Mark. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, he was. He is on 99999, the Herman Cain Cloud 9. But he just you can see where he knows he's getting closer, and we've seen the class next year. Like Leroy is going to get in next year. If he doesn't get in next year, then we start to make noise because that's. I mean, he should have already been in, but if he doesn't make it on next year's class, I would be very, very, very upset.
I agree with you on that one because Charles Woodson, hands down, one of the best defensive players ever. Mm-hmm. So of course he's getting in. John Lynch, I was very happy he got in.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I thought that he would also be one of the ones that get in next year. I thought that he would be one. I was surprised Faneca got in. I know he got in, and they tried to separate it a little bit, but I was a little surprised Faneca got in now.
But see, on the flip side, I would rather have Rondé Barber in than John Lynch because Rondé Barber was a jack of all trades. He did everything.
Yeah, but I think the thing that helped John Lynch
was being the 49ers GM.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be honest. We talked about it in the last couple of years. When you're doing other things outside of what you did in your playing career, and you're also good at that, that had to help him.
Look at Russ throwing. I love you, Statman. Bucks one of two teams with 3 players to tally 8 sacks, other being Pittsburgh.
That's beautiful. Beautiful done. So let's give you the Hall of Fame class real quick. So obviously Peyton Manning. That was a gimme. We knew Peyton Manning was getting in. That was a no-brainer the day he retired.
Megatron.
Of course Charles Woodson gets in. He's going in as a Raider, but like I said, he did all his major things as a Packer, so I'm gonna let that one fly as well.
He got the ring with the Packers.
He got the ring with the Packers. He was Defensive Player of the Year with the Packers, so I'll take that. In my book, he went in as a Packer. You got Drew Pearson, who deserved to get in. No problem. I think he deserved to get in. But when he started boo-hooing on TV last year, let's be honest. Don't tell me that didn't help him get in this year.
It helped
him. I can't believe they did this to me. Like this. In this way. You knew he was getting I knew he was getting in. Like, that was a gimme for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
but he deserved it. Let me clarify that.
He does deserve it, but, I mean, really? Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, anybody at this point deserves to get in. We got to clarify that. If you're in the top 15 Hall of Fame, you obviously deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I just, it gets harder every year to choose who you just really, truly like this person should be in, this person should be in. But Pearson gets in. John Lynch gets in. Tom Flores got in, former head coach of the Oakland Raiders. That's a good pick. And then Alan Faneca, who was just a stud offensive lineman for years with the Jets and the Steelers, he gets in. And that is and Bill Nunn, Scout Bill Nunn got in. So that's your 2021. I love. I mean, if you look at this class, it's a good class.
It's a very solid
class. It's a really good class. So I can't be mad. I just, as a Packers fan, I also looked at the logic. They're probably, Charles Woodson played with the Packers, so we got to let one Packer in who had the better career, and so that's why I think that
I'm
came
just
down
glad that we have 4 players and now.
Yeah. Well, you'll have 5 next year because we already know that if Rondé doesn't get in next year, then we just got to start shouting anarchy.
Well,
but we see what's happened to Leroy too.
We might have had that interview first if you wouldn't have messed up and called him his brother's name.
I shouldn't have called him Tiki. I messed that one up big time. Yeah, we apologize on that one. So also other awards, NFL awards. Let's see. You had the Bud Light Celly of the Year, celebration of the year, that went to Chase Claypool. Deacon Jones Award went to T.J. Watt. The Play of the Year went to Kyler Murray. And DeAndre Hopkins with that Hail Mary. Yeah, it was crazy. Assistant Coach of the Year was Buffalo Bills Offensive Coordinator Brian DeBallo. Comeback Player of the Year, Alex Smith.
We knew that.
We knew that. As soon as he stepped back on the field, we was like, he's Comeback Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
It's he didn't have to take it on the snap.
3 or 4 games where he threw for 300 plus yards.
Yeah, he threw for his career high 390 against Detroit. I mean, he was, once again.
It is Detroit, though.
Once again, Alex Smith went to a situation, and somehow he's still being looked at as not the next quarterback of this team, where when he got hurt or something, he was 4-1. Mm-hmm. It happened in San Francisco. It happened in Kansas City, and now it's happening in Washington. And I'm just like, man, guy, just get your team in a good spot. And it's like, we don't need him no more. Next person, let's go. So Alex Smith, congratulations on Comeback Player of the Year. Our Rooney Sportsmanship Award goes to Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater got that award. The Draftkings Breakout Daily Fantasy Player of the Year was Josh Allen. Josh Allen, thank you, Josh Allen. Because of you, sir, I won a couple championships this year. Two to three to be exact.
It's about time one of your quarterback crushes worked out.
It's about time, man. Now I just need him to win MVP and win the Super Bowl. We're not going to talk about Blake. Fan of the Year presented was Brandon Gallo from the Tennessee Titans. Let's see.
Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was the Walter Payton Man of the Year. Aaron Rodgers was the MVP. You had Offensive Player of the Year was Derrick Henry, and your Defensive Player of the Year was
Aaron Donald.
Now, there's a lot of controversy behind that one. A lot of people are saying, well, wait a minute, T.J. Watt got robbed. You look at the numbers, you would say yes.
But then also you got to take scheme into the fact
right, and a lot of people, and I think a lot of the writers took in the fact that this guy's playing 3 technique. Look what he's doing, and he's doing this as a defensive lineman, and that just makes it special. So
that's not cool. Russ said, "Fuck the son of Bruce Arians' roommate, who played for the Giants."
That's right, because it's Tiki.
Well, and because he went to Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. Yep. I saw they had a special on that on CBS 6 here in the area about that.
He just upset because he got that fumbleitis.
That's what that is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tiki used to be just dropping footballs. I mean, UVA products all day, but they just drop. That's funny how they both went to UVA and didn't go to Tech. So, but I mean, any of these awards that you said, man, that they just got that wrong? Any of them that you just said, man, they got that wrong?
I'm just I love what Aaron Donald does. He is a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
But his numbers compared to last year were down.
Right.
So for me, I really think T.J. Watt deserved it. I mean, he always put on a show.
Right.
He's better than J.J.
At this point in his career, he's better than J.J. Yeah, most definitely. I really thought that this was going. I'll be honest with you. I didn't even think a second that Aaron Donald was going to get this award. I didn't think about it until they said Aaron Donald's. I said, whoa. So, but as I go back and look at it, and as people, because I'm a journalist, that if somebody says this is take a look at it, and I looked at it a little bit more, and I said, yeah, I can see why they gave it to him. I really do see why they gave it to him. But Aaron Donald gets his third, and I think it's him, Lawrence Taylor, and J.J. Watt. I think J.J. low-key was like, man, keep him out of the club.
Well,
come on, T.J.
But more respect for J.J. Watt, because he's the one that went and said no, his brother deserved it.
Right.
And he's gonna be somewhere else. He's either gonna be playing in green and gold or playing in yellow and black.
Yeah. I don't see the green and gold because That's another story for a whole nother day.
Because you hired a defensive coordinator that shouldn't be coaching high school football.
Oh my God! And you know what? As good segue, let's talk about the Green Bay Packers because the last couple of weeks have been wow.
Well, what's next for Green Bay is on there, yes,
yeah,
sir.
That's it. Yeah. So we are definitely going to talk about that. You know, the last couple of weeks we heard Aaron Rodgers is gone. This and that. Da 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 da. Aaron Rodgers, the coach, the GM, and the president have all come out. Aaron Rodgers is not going anywhere. It's just not happening. Why? Everybody's like, well, look at Jordan Love. I don't think they're seeing what they was hoping from Jordan Love. And they're not stupid enough to be like, well, let's just go send Aaron Rodgers back out there. No. And they said the Rams tried to get him, and before they tried to get Stafford, and even though they're buddies, it's
tried to get Rodgers.
Yeah, they did. The Rams tried before they got Stafford. They sent a trade offer to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers, and they was like, he's not for sale. He's not. Aaron's not going anywhere.
We need your first round picks for the next decade.
I want them all.
If
you want to do it, give me all of them. I mean, somebody ought to be good.
I don't know about that because you guys have really sucked ass at picking.
Terrible. Give me all your second round picks for the next couple of years. I'll take those.
Josh Johnson or Jackson.
Yeah, Josh Jackson. Well, we had 2 second round picks that year. It was Josh Jackson and
some lineman.
It was a lineman. I can't think of, but the other person it was has done well. So I can't remember who it was. So don't give me the line.
Okay.
Might have been Kevin King. No, that's a lie. All right, so
that was
we'll scratch that. We'll scratch that. But I mean, everybody thinks they're going to implode. Do you think they're going to implode? I think they've got a lot of tough decisions to make. Well, I don't know if they'll be in the same position they were this year, next year.
Looking at the stats that you sent me, I did some research on this DC. He sucks.
He's garbage. There's no nice way to put it.
There's not.
You might as well kept Pettin. At least Pettin had the defense at the number 9. We were the number 9th ranked defense. Did I want Pettin? No. I still thought we needed to change.
This guy ranked 32nd in so many categories in his time with the Giants. Was it? And no.
He was with I think he was with Detroit the year they went 0-16.
Yeah.
He was with, I think, Cleveland. One of those bad years. He was with the Redskins in 15 and 16 when they had one of those worst defensive years. And he was with, I think, he's with the Rams, obviously, but it was somebody else that he was with.
I asked you specifically this. Matt Patricia is a great defensive coordinator.
Right.
Why not give him a ring?
I'll be honest with you. If they were going to keep it in-house, or keep it, they should have gave Gray the opportunity, our defensive back coach.
Oh,
because our defensive backs have been pretty solid. At least give it to somebody. I'm like, all right, if you're going to give it to Gray, I'll take that. But they wanted Jim Leonard, the former safety that was really solid NFL player.
But he said no.
He said no. So I think he must be thinking he's going to be the next coach at Wisconsin, or he's going to get a good college gig down the road.
And somebody said. Rob brought him up, and it's a college coach that I actually really respect, and he plays within the Big Ten, is PJ Fleck.
Yeah.
He needs to start getting looks because he went from Western Michigan to Minnesota, and look at how many products has come out of Minnesota since he got there.
Minnesota's been doing some good stuff the last couple years on the state.
They've got some really good guys coming out of there, and if he can develop that talent, what can he do at the next level?
Exactly. So I think Green Bay has a lot they're going to have to figure out. These next couple of months are going to be very interesting. I know one thing.
Both the Smith boys gone.
I think Preston, yes. Zadarius is not. Zadarius still had a pretty solid year. Preston.
He forgot to play football. Rashard Gary might show up.
Rashard Gary finally stepped up. So I think that it's going to be an interesting thing and see where they go and where they flip to. But Aaron Rodgers is at least there till next year. Don't stress that because the money, the Packers are still looking at that money. They can't afford to trade Aaron Rodgers unless somebody's going to take the money off their hands. That's $33 million. $33 million for a guy that's not going to be on your team.
I understand that, but remember what the Cleveland Browns did with Brock Osweiler.
That's true, but Green Bay's different. You know how they are as a franchise. They're not going to do that. They're tight. They're money wise.
I was going to say that. I was trying to think. They squeak when they walk.
Exactly. So we'll see what Green Bay does. All right, next of our updates we're going to do, we've been talking about in the last couple of shows, Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson situation seems to just get a little bit more weirder and weirder each time.
They're saying they are not trading him. He is not available to be traded, and they've been getting all types of calls from teams, but Deshaun don't want to be there. I feel
that's stupid.
A Le'Veon Bell situation coming on. Not that Watson is like Le'Veon, where I want the money. Watson does not want to be there.
He's got the money. The money is not the issue here.
Exactly.
He wants to go somewhere where I think he feels like, one, he's going to be a huge part of that organization. They supposedly Houston made him promises on coaching and other things
and
where he was going to be in GM, he's going to be involved in, and they said, "Nah, bro, we good." So I think the Texans are playing hardball right now, and I think they want people to try to ask for some crazy. They want crazy stuff for him, but they're not going to say it out loud. And I think that's what's happening.
Well, and the other thing is they, if you're the face of the franchise is
Right.
ready to leave,
Right.
in J.J. Watt, that tells you everything you need to
I mean,
know.
right. If I'm a player, do I want to go? I mean, obviously,
That locker room is fell apart.
If I'm a solid player and I have the choice to go there, obviously, I'm not just going there unless I need a job.
Exactly.
So unless absolutely nobody else wants me, they're my last choice. I mean, and Bill O'Brien, this is all your fault, sir. You started this train wreck.
When you traded DeAndre Hopkins,
That
was the downfall.
Who was their old GM? Rick Smith? Am I wrong on that? I don't want to lie, but their old GM, once the moment he got fired, and then they decided, well, we're not. That year they said we're not going to do a GM this year, and they let Bill O'Brien make decisions. Sheesh. That's all I got to say about that. So we'll keep you updated as we hear more about that. The next one, Carson Wentz. Now, Jay, this one's interesting because we're hearing that Carson Wentz, could be. We've heard Chicago Bears, we've heard Colts, but where do you see Carson Wentz going? Because they said the trade is coming in a couple of days. Heck, about time we rebroadcast this later on tonight, he could be been traded by then. So by the time our next show happens, we're supposed to see Carson Wentz in another place. Where do you see Carson Wentz going?
Rick Smith was there from 2006 to 2017. Was the GM, and then Brian Ging from in 2018 before O'Brien took over. Yep.
Yeah, and that's when the disaster started.
Carson Wentz, there's part of me that would be tickled shitless for the one that we saw with him going to the Bears for Nick Foles.
Yeah.
But I really think if the Colts were to send a first this year and Malik Hooker,
they could get him.
Because that secondary needs help. Malik Hooker has not been what he should have been at the 7th pick.
I mean, he's great. He's been good
when he's on the field.
Yeah. But I mean, Philadelphia's had glaring issues in the secondary,
and
so
it would give Wentz some form of security because T.Y. Hilton, you got Pittman Jr. stepped up, Paris Campbell. I mean, there's tools there to work with. There were supposed to be tools there, and there wasn't.
Right. I don't know, man. I look at it and just say that this situation, I still think the Colts is the best spot for him. Unless I heard somebody throw San Francisco in there, but I think that this Bears thing is a hoax, if I had to say, because I don't think Chicago's really in play. I really don't think Chicago's in play. I think they're using Chicago and
But you never thought Chicago was in play for Nick Foles either.
I didn't, but this one just seems weird. There's something about it I just don't like. And I was telling somebody, I think I was telling our guy Raphael Hayes. I said, Hayes, I was like, he's a Bears fan, and I was like, this just doesn't, I would rather you're better off keeping Mitch Trubisky.
Wouldn't it be interesting because Jacksonville's got 2 first-round picks this year,
right?
And they sent their one later, and a little bit of something to get Wentz.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got the 1 pick, you're picking Trevor Lawrence. So you already know Trevor Lawrence is not
Urban Meyer, and he's never been an NFL head coach.
True.
He can't recruit people to come play unless it's free agency, and they got all types of money.
That's
free
true.
agency.
That's true.
He can build the team, but Trevor Lawrence has been this pedigree, and everybody's on him. Let's do it. Yeah. Baker Mayfield. How's he worked out? Yeah, finally he did something this year, but it took. I think it's a win now, and Wentz has been great.
I mean, he's had some really good moments. I don't know. This Wentz one is tough for me. I still think the Colts is the best spot. I think you go somewhere where you got some
Familiarity.
Thank you, I appreciate it because I was destroying it. But he has that with Frank Wright. You know, he had his best season under Frank Wright.
He did.
So, like, you know, why not? But then a lot of people say, oh, they don't think it's happening because they think Doug Peterson's going to come there to be the offensive coordinator now that Homeboy is gone. But I don't know if that happens. You know. Well,
if you're Frank Wright and you're the head coach, do you go after a quarterback that you know and it's obviously an area of need for the team?
Right.
Or do you bring in Doug Peterson, who kind of just flared out with tools? He had the tools to win because the NFC least, anybody could have won that shit.
That thing was a toss-up. That thing was a toss-up until the very end. So, I mean, we'll see how Carson Wentz go. We'll definitely update that situation for you on our next show. Next, we got free agency about to hit hard here, but this will be our last one before we head to cash or trash. NFL free agency is going to hit here in about a month. So I took a list of a couple of players that are, you know, I guess you can say big name free agents going into free agency.
I noticed there's $2 on this.
I did. I wanted your opinion on this. So first, where will they land? Dak Prescott is an unrestricted free agent. Obviously, Dallas can franchise tag him, but
he's going to be tagged again, or he will sign a new deal. He's going to be a Cowboy. He is the only quarterback from the 2016 class that is still with the team that drafted him.
It's crazy.
Yes, very much so.
That's crazy. And then when you think about that, oh well, no, I mean technically,
Russ said, for now. Hilton is Ty is an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, Ty's situation. You know, Ty had a really rough beginning of the year. Like he was not producing at all. Believe me, I had him in fantasy. He was not producing at all, and it wasn't until the last maybe like 5 or 6 games where Ty started to become Ty again.
But you know, I've heard that they're going to throw a lot of money at Chris Godwin or Goodwin, and
either way,
I'm going to tell you, he already said he wants to stay in Tampa.
He's got a championship now.
Yeah.
I will take less money, sir.
Exactly,
I will take less money, sir.
All right, but yeah, Dak's going to stay in Dallas.
I think he ends up staying too. But if he was to go somewhere, look for Washington. I know that sounds crazy, but time out. Yeah, look for Washington.
It's not going to. Washington will not. I hate to say this, but the Washington football team will not make a free agent offer to a black quarterback.
They shouldn't.
Well,
they shouldn't, but I don't see. You know,
I hate to be that way, by 100%, but their MO lately,
it's been bad. It's been bad.
Terrible.
There's no nice way to put it.
You know, Dak, if Dak is smart, like I think he is, he ain't going.
Yeah, he'll stay far away. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. As long as he don't go to Houston. Oh man, that'd be great.
Oh shit.
All right, so let's talk about our first Tampa Bay Buck, Shaq Barrett. Now, Shaq Barrett decided to come back last year,
and he didn't franchise them. He didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and you know, he comes this year, and once again, and especially this latter half of the season, just phenomenal. I mean, he sacked the MVP 6 times. Alone, out of the 15 times Aaron Rodgers got sacked this year, Shaq Barrett's got 6 of those. I mean, do you see him staying? I mean, I know we've been here. You know, when you win Super Bowl, everybody's happy at the beginning. We got the Super Bowl, but does
then
he
it's
stay?
back to business. But he's 28 years old. He is going to be. Everybody's going to go after him.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be tagged again.
Yeah, you know,
I really feel he's going to be tagged again because, you know, he didn't put up the 19.5 sacks, but his pressures were through the roof.
He's valuable to the team. I mean, he's extremely valuable to the team
because he makes the quarterback move and other people feed off of it.
Exactly.
Devin White had 9 sacks just because of the ability for, you know, Shaq Barrett or JPP to get in there.
Yeah, I want to see him stay. You know, I think, you know, when you see a team like this, you know, play as well, it would be good to see him stay.
Well, I mean, before that, he was a situational pass rusher with the Denver Broncos. That's for you, Lamont.
Yeah, Lamont don't want to hear that. Close your ears, buddy.
And, you know, we brought him in on a 1-year deal, and he just lit shit up.
He was amazing. He's been amazing since the moment he stepped foot in Tampa Bay. Next one. He's probably going to be the top wide receiver out there unless somebody trades for somebody, and that's Allen Robinson.
Dropped 1 ball his entire career.
That's still crazy to me. Like it does. I mean, it's amazing.
Insane.
You know, and you've seen his quarterbacks, Blake Bortles, Nick Foles, or at least
Mitch Trubisky.
and they haven't been phenomenal in most people's eyes.
You know where I'd like to see him go? Green Bay.
Yeah, but I'm not holding my breath.
I know, but I think with his sure hands and his ability to
him and Levante together, sheesh.
It would be a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to end up in Atlanta.
You know, Atlanta would be a good spot for him. I really think, and I'll keep throwing the Washington, but see, Washington is a decent team that needs peace. They need receivers. That needs to be a place of interest.
They've got McLaurin, and they've got the rookie, I can't think, from Liberty. Who showed good, and they got Sims that they love.
Yeah, I still think they need one.
I don't think they're going to spend the money. It is, like they said, Dan Snyder will get off his yacht for draft day to make a pick, and then come in and say, no, you ain't spending no more money.
Oh, my God. Well, they need to figure something out. I mean, because they could go from being the NFC East champs to really making some. That defense is really good. That defense is going to be good for a minute.
It's going to be good for a minute, but Kerrigan, he getting ready to go.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Kerrigan's going to be a really nice piece to somebody's team next year. He wants to play. Come to Green Bay. Cheap.
Now, actually, you know where Kerrigan's going to end up. He's going to end up with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, they go out there with old Cal.
Yep.
Man, they don't need no more defensive linemen. They don't need any more defensive linemen.
Because, they traded Quan Alexander, which was smart. I love Quan. We drafted him, but he can't stay healthy. And when he went to the Saints, he got hurt.
Russ says, come to New Jersey. He wants him in New York big time. And New York would actually be a decent spot for him.
It would, because they got Slayton. They need to move Evan Ingram for a Kit Kat. I don't give a shit if it's
I still can't believe he made the Pro Bowl over Tunyon. They have the same numbers, and Tunyon has 10 touchdowns to his 1.
How
is that even possible?
I agree, 1,000%.
Crazy stuff.
I don't like Evan Ingram has been a huge disappointment.
Yeah, and he's had, but now that he's made the Pro Bowl, he'll have that on his arsenal.
I actually talked to my dad and mom's diabetic doctor. He's a diehard Giants fan. He's from New York, but he moved to Michigan. The last time I saw him was the day that OBJ got traded, and I'm the one that told him. Mm-hmm. And I asked him about this. I think Cody Stewart or Russ might have brought it up about sending Shaquan Barkley, Daniel Jones, and a couple first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. He's like, do it. He's like,
do it immediately.
Well, when we were talking, he's like, Barkley, what has he done? And I was like, so I was thinking, is he another Kajana Carter? And he's like, that is a great example because look, Kajana was the and he did nothing.
I think with Shaquan, and I'll give Rob credit. Rob said, he's big, and him being so big could eventually hurt him because at their running back position, yeah, he can be tough and all, but he's sustained to injuries. You got to be careful with that. So I look at it and say, well,
but that would, when you hear from somebody that isn't part of the network, that is just a true Giants fan, mm-hmm. that he'd be willing to give up, Daniel Jones, your, franchise running back, and 2 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. He's like, this guy is an elite quarterback, and he's like, look what he did this year. And I was like, yeah, 4-11 team, and he still made the Pro Bowl. And he's like, thank you.
Right, and he had led the league in passing yards.
And he's got a whole bunch of number 2 wide receivers.
He did what Jameis Winston did last year without the interceptions.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the wide receivers Jameis Winston had.
He didn't, and that's what makes it more impressive.
Exactly.
His wide receivers were hurt more than anybody.
Trade Ingram for Ertz and a bag of Skittles.
Well, Ertz is a free agent, I think.
Yeah,
so
he is.
You can just sign Ertz and then just do whatever with Ingram.
Gettleman's still the GM there?
I think so.
It's not happening. He ain't signing
it's
shit.
Not happening. Next one, we got 2 more here on the Where They Land. Patrick Peterson announced. I think they made an announcement today, or it was some ranges. He will not be back as a Cardinal unless something crazy happens. Patrick Peterson is still.
He was elite.
Mm-hmm.
He was top 5.
It's probably about
I would
top
say
15,
top
20.
15. He is no longer an elite corner, but Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I think he still can go somewhere that is looking to be a winner.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, not like not Jacksonville or something like that. He needs to go somewhere that's a contender for a that can maybe use that defensive presence. Minnesota Vikings, and I hate to say that out loud, but
Bruce
some type of
Arians,
team
you better
like that.
not bring him to Tampa. That's all I'm saying. We got a very nice.
I would take him
young
in
set of
Green
quarterbacks.
Bay if y'all would take Kevin King, free of charge. I'm just out free of charge. And the next one, of course, is Levante David. This is a huge one because you love you some Levante David. He's the only guy you've wanted in the last in the 10 years that you wanted. And what are your thoughts on this, man? Because he's such a huge part.
Well, he's on the wrong side of 30.
Right.
He still plays at a high level, but I think he is going to sign a 2 or 3 year deal to stay in Tampa.
I mean, you have to now that you're champs, and you know that he's got a chance to really grow his career with another Super Bowl next year.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And he keeps getting robbed of all these because he doesn't put up sack. He is one of the best coverage linebackers in the league, hands down.
Right.
And
right.
he is, Devin White's all over the field. Devin White is about 4 inches taller. And he's faster. Devin White needs 1 more year underneath him to learn everything.
And he'll be exactly where he needs to be. So I will, like I said, it's another one of those you like to see the loyalty thing. I mean, but unless he wants to come to Green Bay, which we don't have any money to give you.
He don't like playing in the cold. I follow him on Instagram. He hates the cold. He hates going up there and playing.
He does.
And
come on, man, we'll give you some comforters or something.
But also remember, Florida's got the tax exempt thing for y'all.
See, why you got to go through the taxes and thing in there? We don't need people to know
because
that.
I want to keep my player. I finally get one, like you said, in 10 years that we've been friends.
And you want to take him.
And I've got one guy that I've wanted the entire time.
And you want to take him. How dare you, Darrell? How dare you?
2 words, but I'm not going to say them.
All right. Now we're going to head to our favorite time. I don't know how loud it's going to be, Jay. Here we go. It is time for...
And now it's time
actually wasn't that bad this time.
Cash or Trash.
All right, everybody, it is time for Cash or Trash. Yeah. It's time for Cash or Trash. We're going to start this one off with the LA Dodgers. Now, we talked about this on Legacy on Fire about a month or so ago about them being the new Yankees.
Russ says Legion of Boom 2.0 with Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams couldn't catch a cold, by the way.
So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, if I look at this,
Dodgers are the new Yankees.
Are they the new Yankees? Cash or Trash?
Cash this shit up. They're even looking at going at Hader right now. They're trying to sign.
What else do they need?
I'm just telling you.
Jesus Christ!
I know.
Where did they get all this money from? That's the real question. Like, where are they getting this money from? Are they like getting is there a Hollywood donation pool or something?
No, they found out where Jimmy Hoffa was buried. So.
And they're just getting all the secrets. I mean, look, I gotta cash this. The Yankees are still relevant, but they don't make. Brian Cashman doesn't make those decisions he used to make when the original Steinbrenner was there.
Oh, absolutely, because they've done amazing at building up their farm system. And, I'm glad they got Paxton because he's always hurt for you guys.
Yeah, in fact, you can have him. Merry Christmas.
And you got a great prospect that we sent him in Sheffield.
My thing right now for, watching this LA team is just, will it be too much for them next year? Because sometimes you can get these super teams and you just lose to it.
There's too much ego.
And that's the only thing. They got their ring now. Not saying they're obviously going to be right back in the hunt next year. And I know we'll do our baseball preview in a couple weeks.
Who else plays in that division though with them?
The Padres. And the Padres are trying to low-key build their rotation up. They're gonna give them some fits. I don't know if they'll win the division or anything, but they're gonna give them some fits over there, and they're gonna be very competitive.
Hey, I know why Cleveland traded that catcher prospect now.
Why?
Because he sucks.
It's crazy.
He was the #1 baseball prospect, all of them through the entire thing, and then we trade him. I was pissed, and now I know why. He can't. His batting average is barely above 200.
So where is he at now?
Tampa Bay.
He's in Tampa Bay. That means he'll do phenomenal in Tampa Bay.
Actually, no. They're talking about letting him walk because they've got 2 guys ahead of him.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would thought Tampa Bay be a great spot for him.
Well, we sent our utility infielder down there, and now he's all-star.
Yeah. Look at the year Tampa Bay's had. And I know we talked about it a while ago.
No, it's not Tampa Bay right now. It's
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Tampa Bay's done a great job this year. They got the Lightning winning the Stanley Cup. The Buccaneers win win there, and then you got the Rays going to the World Series. I mean, what a year. I mean, LA was right there with them, though. LA won the NBA championship, won MLB. So, like, right now between LA and Tampa Bay,
that's the places to be.
They're running the ship in the sports world. So, much love and congratulations to those cities, man. They've done a phenomenal job. Next one on Cash or Trash. Joel Embiid is having a phenomenal year. He has done amazing things so far this season for the Sixers. The Sixers are well on their way right now. A lot of people, if you ask Ty, he'll tell you the Sixers. I think he's a little suspect because of
his loyalty to him.
Yeah, and then he's not 100% on Ben Simmons. But when you look at this Philadelphia team, they're 17-7. They're 11-2 at home. They're 6-5 on the road, 5-1 in the division, 15-4 in the conference. They're averaging about 114 points per game. They're 8-2 in their last 10. But Joel Embiid is where everybody is saying like he's the MVP. It's right now in a lot of people's eyes between him and Djokovic, Nikolai Djokovic, that's in Denver. But do you cash or trash Joel Embiid being the MVP
right now? The numbers speak for themselves, so you got to cash it. But the problem is, when has Embiid ever played a full season?
That's where you start to get a little bit worried. I mean, right now, let's see, 29.3 points per game, 8.9 defensive rebounds, 10.7 rebounds overall, 1.2 blocks. He's been dominant for a team that is, I'm not going to say surprisingly doing well because they do have Doc Rivers, and Doc Rivers is an excellent coach.
But he sucks in the postseason.
He sucks in the postseason. Other than that 1 year they won it. That's it. Other than that, he's just been. But I think he was a good coach for this team, and he's really brought out the best of Joel Embiid. I'm going to trash this only because I think Djokovic is the MVP right now. God, Djokovic has been killing it. 50 points. He's had quite a few triple doubles this year, and the big man is just like he makes that Denver team tick. So I mean, if I'm going to trash him for that, but if Joel Embiid wins it, I mean, the way that this team is playing, I wouldn't be upset with it at all.
I mean, Bradley Beal's having a good year too. I mean, we can go that way.
Yeah, but Bradley Beal, run, brother, run. I know that we cover Washington Wizards, and I know that's not something they want to hear, but. And I appreciate the loyalty. We've always talked about how sports and loyalty in sports is not the same, and he doesn't want to go anywhere. Like he wants to be there. Like, and I gotta give him that much credit. But then you also got to look at the fact, like, come on, man, this is not fair to you. I mean, you want to win, but I do give him credit for being loyal.
Biggest surprise for me is that it seems Luka has taken a couple steps back.
He has.
From where he was last year. Because last year, it's triple-double, triple-double, triple-double. Now it's just like, what happened, bro?
I don't think that Dallas team, to be honest with you, they need kind of a shakeup.
They don't compliment him.
I don't think they compliment. I mean, Porzingis is had him in a pretty, now when he's not hurt.
Oh, sorry.
But no, you good, brother. I just think that, and I want to say Rob said it. Somebody in our group said it, but it may be time for them to get rid of Rick Carlisle. But we know Mark Cuban is loyal to a fault.
How old is Rick Carlisle?
Rick Carlisle's been in the league a long time.
Because I remember being in like middle school and him coaching.
He's been coaching for 20 plus years,
or
man.
something like that.
He's been coaching for 20 plus years, and it's not saying that he's a bad coach, but sometimes you just need scenery change. And I think they may need another coach. I don't know who. I couldn't tell you right now. But
where's Nate McMillan coaching? I loved him as a coach.
Nate McMillan should not have been the coach for the Pacers this year, but that's another story for another day. I mean, he would be great, but they need. I just think they need a change of pace.
Absolutely.
But like Mark Cuban is loyal. I do not see it happening unless
I didn't like Mark Cuban for the longest time, and then I saw this thing he did for West. Nothing but respect for him.
I mean, Mark Cuban,
hell of a human being.
He is a loyal. Look, he got his ring. I don't think he's. I think he wants to obviously win again. He wants to keep his team competitive. But he's loyal to Carlisle, and unless Carlisle's leaving, I don't see them getting rid of Rick Carlisle. I don't see it happening.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but
I don't see it
I absolutely agree with change is definitely there.
Yeah, all right. Last one on Cash and Trash here. So the NBA All-Star Game is supposed to happen in March. And LeBron James is like, nah, bro. He don't like the idea. He think it's a terrible idea. They shouldn't be having it. Do you Cash or Trash the All-Star Game happening?
Well, in these trying times that we got right now, I don't think they should have it at all, to be honest.
I thought about it, but I don't think they're going to have fans there.
But see, let's be honest. The last 10 years, the skills challenge, the dunk contest, and even the game itself, people have stopped giving a shit.
Yeah, I mean, the three-point contest, who would have thought the three-point contest would be the most exciting one?
Exactly.
That's the only one people really care. The skills challenge has been interesting the last couple of years, but the All-Star game itself is fun, the players out there, but it's the three-point contest has been...
I mean, hell, the last time I liked the skills challenge was watching Shaq try to do it.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, honestly, and the All-Star Game is just a put show for people to do. It has no meaning on anything like where in Major League Baseball, you get home field advantage.
Right.
They need to do that just like with the Pro Bowl. There's got to be more meaning to it to make them want to play it. Does that make sense?
It does. Russ said, before I give you my cast, Russ says 2020 was the third time LA or a greater LA area has won the NBA and MLB championships in the same calendar year, 88 and 2020 for the Lakers and the Dodgers, and in 2002 for the Lakers and the Angels. Thank you, #Statman.
I know, 88, that was the only time I was ever a Dodgers fan. You had Tommy Lasorda on the bench, Kirk Gibson coming in, being hurt and hitting that home run. Great.
It's magic.
The only other memory that might trump that is the Blue Jays.
Carter. Yeah, with Carter?
Yep.
That Carter jank was magic. I mean, that's as good as it gets.
Yep.
Still waiting for that to happen again so we can say, oh, man, Carter happened when I was 9. So, you see, I remember watching it, but, I want to be able to say it as an adult, wow, that was crazy. That's crazy to see.
But, I want to see it where we're there covering it.
Real facts. I don't know, because I want to see the All-Star game, but like you said, in these times, it's not necessary. The NFL did something with the Pro Bowl where they honor the players, and I thought that was a really nice gesture. But nobody's been watching the Pro Bowl. Between baseball and basketball, they probably have the most exciting All-Star game. Well, let me not leave out hockey, because hockey has a pretty solid All-Star game. But are we really going to care this year?
No.
The players obviously don't want to do it with everything going on. So I guess I'll trash it. But
the whole thing is also with that, if the face of the franchise doesn't want to partake in it,
then why would
nobody else going to want
to do it? If LeBron's not there, it's not an All-Star game. If he was hurt, it's different. But it's not an All-Star game if LeBron's not there.
But even if he's hurt, in normal times, he would be there on the sideline rooting him on.
Exactly. All right, everybody, that is it here for episode 272 here of the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast. It has been an absolute pleasure to be with y'all again on this wonderful post-Super Bowl edition of the show. Want to give a shout-out real quick. A couple shout-outs real quick. One, to our team that was on a part of our pre-show yesterday. Amazing job, fellas. Absolutely amazing job. Truly appreciate all the hard work that you guys put into that. That was beautifully done yesterday. We got a lot of great viewership, so we appreciate that, everybody that was involved.
Thank you for the support.
Yeah. Next, I want to give shout-out to my squad. I know it's been a tough year, y'all, but we got a game tonight in the regionals taking on Bruden. That's Joe's people down there. So, hopefully we can get a dub tonight. That broadcast will be on the network tonight at 6 o'clock, so you'll be able to catch that game tonight.
Sweet. Go Raiders.
Amelia versus Bruden tonight against the Bruden Panthers. Also, Monster Minutes comes back this week. I thought this is shame on me. I thought the Daytona 500 was the following week, so we'll probably have to do Legacy on Fire next week for that, and then we'll do our post Daytona Legacy on Fire. So y'all guys be prepped for that.
I got a Valentine's date on date for Look at that.
Yeah, boy. So that'll be happening this weekend. So make sure y'all check out our girl Becca Cottingham on that front. Commonwealth Sports Talk. They've got the Triangle coming on this week to their episode. That's going to be on Thursday. Make sure y'all check that out.
Great show.
Great show. Last week they had Ricardo Marsh, a former NBA player. He was on the show last week. He has a facility out actually on here on Hall Street, which is not too far from us, basketball facility. So it was a good interview last week. So make sure. And then they got Jen Walter. Dr. Jen Walter is coming back. So so that'll be something to watch out for here on the network here in the next couple of weeks. I believe that one's going to happen in March.
And don't forget Rams Talk with Rob.
Yes.
And No BS Sports Zone.
Yes.
He some of his stuff, sometimes you're like, what is he doing? But Rob gives you a different take on stuff. So
yes. Rob will give you so many different aspects in there. You really start to question. You're like, man, wait a minute. Rob may have something going here. So y'all make sure y'all check out the No BS Sports Zone. That I believe is on. That's on Sundays. Either at 12:30 or he's debating to move it to 10:30. Then also he's got Ram Talk that happens on Fridays to update you on any Ram thing.
VCU, baby.
Yep, the VCU Rams. Once again, everybody, I'm Darrell Lawrence. This is Jay Quimby. This is the Legacy Maker Sports Podcast, episode 272. Until next time.
God bless. Go Bucks.
Yeah.
Did I not get it in?
You got it in.